Hello and welcome to another An Old Man Watches, and today I'm going to be talking about Spy Kids from 2001. And the film begins with Gregorio and Ingrid Cortez, who appear to be perfectly ordinary, everyday parents. Certainly their children Carmen and Junie, like most kids who are in or nearing their teens, consider their parents to be, very boring, embarrassing people, basically. Secretly, however, the elder Cortezes are former spies who still do office-based consultant work for their agency, the OSS. Now, when several OSS agents go missing, Gregorio and Ingrid are called back to active duty, leaving Carmen and Junie in the care of their uncle, Felix, who is actually an OSS agent himself. The two spies swing into action, their chief suspect, TV host Vegan Floop. The film's called Spy Kids, though, not Spy Mom and Dad, so Gregorio and Ingrid soon find themselves outmatched by Floop and his minions. This triggers a fail-safe backup back at home, leading to Carmen and Junie learning of their parents' secret lives. Now they are the only ones who can protect the world from disaster. So Spy Kids was written and directed by Robert Rodriguez, and prior to this film, Rodriguez's output had largely been violent action films like Desperado and From Dusk Till Dawn. 1998's The Faculty, about a body snatchers like Alien Menace, was probably the closest thing to an exception from that pattern. So as a family-friendly spy spoof, this movie was a big change of pace, but it was also a very deliberate one. Rodriguez wanted to make a kid-appropriate picture like those that he had grown up watching. He's since gone on to make 3 more Spy Kids films and a number of other all-ages productions. This first one is, however, to my mind, by far the best. So let's talk about why I found it to be such infectious fun. So first of all, let's be really clear. This is a wacky, silly, goofy movie. And it's refreshingly straightforward about that. It fires off jokes of varying levels of maturity with enthusiastic abandon. There's slapstick, poop jokes, puns, sight gags, and a whole lot more. And to my money, there is genius to all this absurdity, because the film just does it all, and trusts the audience to laugh at the bits that they find funny. The script never bothers to belabour a gag too much or make sure that you got it, because there's no need for it to do that. There's going to be another joke in just a few seconds after all. If this joke missed, maybe the next one will hit. An example of this is Floop's primary soldiers. They're the Thums, genetically engineered humanoids, whose heads, legs and arms are all replaced with giant thumbs. They're rather clumsy and prone to mishaps, because of course they are. They are literally all thumbs. But if you didn't get that joke, it doesn't matter. You can just laugh at their comic slapstick antics, which are quite funny in and of themselves. The joke is there if you see it. If you don't see it, that's cool. We've got lots of other jokes. I feel like many of Rodriguez's later family films don't quite have this trust in themselves and in their audience, and they tend to over-explain some of their humour. That's not always the case. I think Spy Kids 2 sneaks in some great visual puns and trusts you to get them, but there's a lot of other elements of the films where I feel like hey, did you see this? This is the funny bit. Spy Kids doesn't do that. It just keeps throwing stuff at you, and you're going to laugh at some of it, you're going to miss some of it, that doesn't matter. There's enough in here that you should get some laughs. Secondly, oh man, the cast is great. Antonio Banderas and Carla Gugino are clearly having great fun hamming it up as the retired spies who are tempted back for one last mission, and the casting on the villainous side is just as good. Alan Cumming is a great choice for the whimsical would-be villain Vegan Floop, while Terry Hatcher seems to delight in her bad girl role. And then you've got Tony Shalhoub, who is as reliable as always, even in a role that is somewhat outside of his usual wheelhouse. Now, of course, none of the adults are the main characters, and to a large extent it wouldn't matter how good or bad they were. It would come down to, are the child actors good or are they flopped? Fortunately, there are no concerns here. Both of the young leads deliver solid performances. They're probably helped by the film's generally over-the-top and hammy tone, because these aren't especially nuanced performances they're given. But in this kind of frantic slapstick action comedy, there's not really much of a role for nuance. The critical thing was that they be likeable, and they bounce off each other well to sell the sibling dynamic. Check and check. It's a good job on the casting front. Finally, the film has great visuals, and I don't mean this in the sense of great special effects. The special effects were fine for 2001. They look a bit dated now, but the visual design is really strong. I've already mentioned the Thums. Like Star Wars Stormtroopers, these are perfect minions from a design perspective. They're literally faceless and interchangeable, but they still have a really strong look that sticks with you. Then there are Floop's Fooglies, bizarre mutations that Vegan Floop uses in his TV show. They're surreal and a little bit creepy in their design without shading over into full-on scary. They feel like exactly the sort of thing that would show up in a surrealistic kid show like Floop's. And there's clearly thought gone into much less prominent parts of the design. Floop's villainous lair, for instance, has flowing, almost organic-looking walls dotted with windows that are like stained glass jigsaws. It's a great-looking, memorable environment, and it's perfect for the character. It's this kind of attention to detail that helps the movie feel much more real and engaging than it probably should have given its preposterous plot. End to end, I just think Spy Kids is a thoroughly well thought out and produced family-friendly film. I think it's a lot of fun, and I recommend it to anyone who has even a little bit of child left in them. So that's Spy Kids. Next time, it's been a while since we talked about Milla Jovovich killing zombies. Let's fix that by taking a look at 2012's Resident Evil Retribution, the fifth film in the Resident Evil franchise. But that's next time. Until then, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it.